Welcome back, YouTubers. If this is your first time at the channel, welcome. If you're back again, we're glad to see you. Today's project is this Cub Cadet xt1 Enduro lawn tractor. It's the LT42. Got the 42-inch cutting deck, which, as you can see, I have already removed. I will show you how to do the reassembly when I put it back together. There's only three clamps and a connecting wire. Then you put the belt over the pulley. Not much to it at all. It took me maybe 5-10 minutes. Of course, in the course of me owning this piece of equipment, which I call junk, I have taken off and removed the deck and replaced many belts. But anyway, today let me take you over and I'll show you our project, tubers. All right, tube, here we are. We're back again. This pulley here, I think, is the culprit of why it throws the belt off, and then the belt keeps spinning and it disintegrates these belts pretty easy. They are a Cub Cadet product, which means they are not very strong and they're shred. And then I've got a bunch of string with tar on it that I paid $60 for at my local Tractor Supply. So today we are going to be, you see that metal bracket? I'll try to get you a good view. That metal bracket in the front there, I'm thinking that has been bent down. That has the angle of the pulley leaning downward. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take my grinder, a cutoff wheel, I'm going to cut that bracket, I'm going to pry it up level, and then I'm going to fire up my welding machine and run a bead and see if we can get these $60 belts to stay on, not fly off and shred. I'm on my third belt and I went one lap around my yard and it came off and just disintegrated. For those of you that are good at math, that's a little bit over $180, just, rounding up and down. But yeah, thanks, Cub Cadet. Excellent workmanship. But yeah, let's get after it. All right, guys, here we are back again. 14 millimeter on this one, up under the bottom, a 15. Then you can remove it, take your little keeper, put it all together so you don't lose it. Put it in a spot where it's not going to knock over, where you got to get a magnet out and dig through gravel to find it again. All right, this is the culprit. This little I'm going to call this a bracket. It is angled downward and it's throwing the geometry off of the belt and the groove on this pulley, and it's, in my opinion, the reason my belts keep coming off. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put the cutting wheel on my grinder. I'm going to cut this bracket. I'm going to sever it from the deck. I'm going to take something like a flat-headed screwdriver pry bar and I'm going to pry it up ever so slightly. And when I get it where the pulley sits level with this groove and its groove, then I'm thinking hopefully I've got my problem solved. Stay with me and let's see if this works. Let's see. I think you guys can see right there. Once again, my welding gloves. There was a nest of brown recluse spiders. So if you're one of those safety guys, normally I would. Did not want to show anybody the poor techniques, but we're expecting some rain and I got to get this done, so here we go. Alright guys, you can see that bare metal there. Got a good bead. We are joined back where I spaced it out. Got the metal joined back together. Everything is closed up. Cleaned up my weld a little bit, and the only thing left to do, I'm going to take a rattle can of some black spray paint and put a little bit on that bare steel so that it doesn't rust instantly, and then we will reinstall this bad boy. Hopefully it's not another 60 buck belt. I mean, they do not last. Once they come off, it shreds them in the belt keeper owners, as I call them, the brackets, and they're no good. Once they have been put on and they come off, it shreds them, it destroys them, and they're $67, $68 at Tractor Supply for the factory Cub Cadet OEM belts. So it's pretty expensive. This is my third one, and I am hopefully fixing that problem. I'm going to pause it. I'm going to go dig around in my shop and see if I can find some black flat spray paint. Oh, hey, quick tidbit. Cutoff wheel, grinding disc. I used the cutoff wheel to cut through the bracket. I welded the bracket once I got it positioned where I saw that the pulley was nice and level. I welded the gap back, and I'm cleaning up my weld with a grinding disc. What that does, that just removes some of that excess metal flux where it's joined the metal back together, cleans it up, makes it look more like a professional factory job. And if you're a bad welder like me, which you can see, I am not certified, haven't been to school. I learned by doing. You can clean up a bad weld with a grinder, and that's a trick I think a lot of guys need to know. That way you don't have to hear your buddies talk crap about your poor welding skills. But anyway, I am cleaning up my weld at this time with a grinding disc. All right, people, here we go. This is black spray paint. That's pollen, but it's black. Cheap stuff, Walmart. I just want to protect that metal from water, moisture, and rusting out real bad, ruining it. That's all I'm trying to do here, is make this so I don't have to repeat where it rusts out real quick. I don't have to do it again next spring when I get ready to fire this hunk of lawnmower up. All right, you see what I did there? I'm a horrible welder, I'll admit it. I got all kind of mistakes that a trained welder is going to spot and mention in the comments, but I took my grinder, I cut it down, made it look somewhat pretty, covered it up with some black paint to protect it from the weather and the elements, keep that steel from being exposed and rusting through again. And ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we're gonna pause it. I'll be back for the pulley reassemble. Oh, hey, one more thing. Hang on. But the titanium portable welder, that is something I do believe in. I have used it extensively. It is not the Cadillac, it's not the best. The price reflects it. If you're a homeowner, do-it-yourselfer that doesn't weld for hours at a time and burn through 1,000-yard spools of wire, then it'll serve you well. It has done me. I've used it on my Cub Cadet. I work on that thing more than I ride on it. I cannot endorse Cub Cadet, but I can endorse the Harbor Freight titanium welding machine. It's a good machine. I always ask people, would you buy it again? Yes, I would. I don't think I'll have to, but I would again if I had to. It has been that handy. Harbor Freight, you know, they sell cheap tools. They don't last, but the welder has held up. The welder has really saved me a lot of time, a lot of money. I didn't have to go out and buy Lincoln or one of those fancy name brands. I was able to get by and do what I had to do in my little small area of the world using it. I believe in it. It's helped me. It's been a tool that has come in handy many times. Jasper, you approve? He stuck his tongue out, so I'm saying yes. All right, folks. I just wanted to mention that. Let this paint air dry for a little bit longer, and I will put the pulley back on, tighten everything to torque, and we're going to be ready to slap this sucker back together and see what tears up next on this. Stay with me, folks. It's a journey. Oh, all right, YouTube. This is me again, and I have got the pulley back mounted. 14 millimeter there, 15 up under the bottom. You have to have one wrench on the 15 to undo the 14, or else you're just going to spin in the wind there, buddy. So be aware of that situation. Now that it is back on, it is nice and flat and level. Spins freely, no wobble, no give. It's not at a weird angle, and there's no guarantees in life, but maybe I'm working in the right direction. Maybe I have fixed something that was the reason the belts keep coming off, getting destroyed, or maybe it was just a contributing factor. Anyway, those belts are expensive. Let's hope it works. Reassembly time. Alright guys, here we are. Got everything, pulley back on, straightened out the bent weld, cut it, re-welded it, painted it, put the pulley back on, belts back in. Everything is ready for reassembly up under the tractor there. Y'all bear with me. It's a one-man show, and I am videographer, editor, and grease monkey. A little bit of all. So anyway, here I go. Oh, these spike balls, they're called sweet gun balls. They're not very good on the skin and the back and all that. And you guys saw the brown recluse spiders that were in my welding gloves. Well, they're pretty prevalent in this park. So I'm hoping we don't see any of those. So here we go. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to try to pull the deck back under and get it centered where I need it at, so I can make my connections and put my clamps on. Oh, no snakes, no spiders. Come on, y'all. Oh. All right. Let's see. I'm going to need that up out of the way. before I go too much further on this side. There is a cable with a spring that lets you engage and disengage the PTO that spins the cutting deck. You okay, Jasper? All right, buddy, come on. All right, let's see. Ah. Oh, Mike can do it back again. Yeah. Sweet gum balls are not a thing I enjoy. They're sharp and they don't feel good. You just hook that little spring. There's an arm that tensions the pulley system, and you just hook the little end of the spring. It's got a curve to it, a hook. You hook it in the little hole on the arm of the tensioner pulley, and let's see. Now, this is the little clip that holds the armature, the lift bracket for your height of your deck, which is all right. I'm going to go to the other side and give myself a little room to work with.
It's pretty warm today. Sometimes those clips are a little rusted and they want to be difficult, but a screwdriver and fair point. Screwdriver, fair parts. Oh yeah. Once you get your little hole and your arm back aligned, go ahead and put your cotter key, safety bracket holder back in. That locks into place. Do the other side. Just got to line that arm up with the little notch that sticks out. And then stick the pin in the hole and it holds it into place. Go. All right. Now, let's see. this time I have got to get the front bar that supports the front of the mowing deck. Which is this right here. All right. Now, up under the front of your tractor, there is a hole that this feeds into. All right. Got it aligned. Oh. Now there's two holes and they are marked. One says 42, one says 46. This is a 42-inch deck, so it goes in the front hole. Marked 42. Alright. And then this pin goes through there and locks it into place. Before I do that, I've got to reinstall my belt. Alright. So, everything is back in line and supported. Everything looks good. Our tensioner spring, I'm not happy with that. What can I do to correct that? Well, I gotta be able to see it to fix it. So I'm gonna try the other side. Chad, come on, man. Okay. Whew. Oh, there you go. Alright. A 12 and a 10. So it must be a size 11. Come out of there. And there's that. Alright. These batteries are not worth a crap, but Tractor Supply will be happy to sell you a new one.